Are Barcelona fans actually deluded, or are the Premier League fans even worse? Yeah, of course, I'm a Real Madrid fan, and today is another reaction video. After a little bit of a while, not doing many reactions, today we have one Barcelona fan versus 20 Premier League fans. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to check out the channel, of course, link down below, show some love. Let's get straight to it. Let's go.
Hey, I've got one Barcelona
Let's go.
fan ready to go up against 20 Premier League fans.
Do I know? Wait, do I know that? That's Luca, of course. Shout out to Luca, Liban. I know them. I know this guy as well, Barcelona fan. And that's about it, I think. Yeah, basically, you get to debate. If you get 10 yellow cards, you are out. Next one comes up first. Okay, let us hear the first take. Lamine Yamal is the best footballer in the world. Best footballer in the world. Best football player. Footballer. Is it that he's the best on technical ability, on just ability, fairs? But is he the best player right now? I don't know, man. In big games, I still think Dembele is better. I think Mbappe is better. I think many players on their day are better than Lamine Yamal in big games. I genuinely even think Pedri and Rafinha are better in bigger games and are more important for Barcelona than Lamine Yamal right now. But you can argue that he is the best footballer in the world. Yeah, on ability, you know, dribbling, this and that, technical ability, fairs. I don't think... Will anybody get up? I think they might agree, you know. Premier League fans like to glaze Yamal.
Lamine Yamal is the best footballer in the world. Start seeing the timer in 3, 2, 1. Make your way up.
Nobody. Fairs. Fairs. Nobody, yeah. Fair play. Like, I understand it, but let's be honest. Do these Prems watch Lamine Yamal week in, week out? I don't think so. Okay. They see him on the biggest stage.
That's kind of is what it is.
Okay, somebody got up. Let me hear the argument. Let me hear it.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Please have a good debate. Please have a good debate. Yeah, I'm not trying to hear fucking Mohamed Salah, bro. Oh, he's a United fan. Okay, fast.
I'm quite surprised that there wasn't someone getting up that quickly, because I think it is a debate, right? I think Lamine Yamal. Why do you think that you mean?
This guy just said his point. He started his point and right away came off his point. Come on, bro, make your point at least. This guy's making him say whatever.
So, I think first of all, it is subjective, and I did expect people to get up, but
yeah, it is subjective.
At the same time, the way I personally judge the best football in the world, I look at impact, but also how many different ways you can impact a game.
Yeah.
How many different ways you can impact a game? I don't know if Lamine Yamal is the best at that, bro. I don't know. I genuinely think in bigger games he's inconsistent. He can be, of course. I'm not saying he was bad last year, but this year definitely.
When I look at Lamine Yamal, first of all, this season he's evolved into a stage where he's been man-marked by 2-3 players almost on it.
I mean, that was happening last season, let's be honest. That was happening last season as well.
And I look at how he's able to head oppositions from minute 1 to 90, essentially. First of all, I think his gas tank, his physicality to run at the defender 90 minutes straight is... Yes,
but he can keep running on defenders. For example, the last game against Girona. And does nothing and misses a penalty. You know, that's why I think his age, you know, puts him still a bit down. I would still say, for me, Dembele is up there, even with technical ability. Dembele is such a good player. And people, you know, he won the Ballon d'Or, and people are now starting to actually underrate him because he won the Ballon d'Or, and they now think he's overrated. See, just social media, man. But I kind of agree with him, but in bigger games this season, you cannot say that was the case. You cannot.
Incredible. I don't think a lot of players have that along with his technicality. You look at his ability to pass, but it's not just one element of...
Fair. One of his best abilities, by the way. Passing of the ball. One of his best abilities.
It's outside of the foot, inside of the foot. It's dribbling through 3 or 4 in tight spaces, in transition.
Fair.
So there's just so many ways...
I think his finishing really hurts him. Yeah, I know he can score a screamer once in 3 months, but his overall finishing, one-on-ones, you know, outside the box, inside the box, first time, it's just not there. It's just not that yet. But he can improve. He can improve massively. Such a young player.
Top of the box, his ball striking is just so good. And
Ball striking is so good. When it comes to passing. Hey, if we are talking about ball striking, overall, bro, he's ass. He is honestly ass when it comes to finishing. Let's be honest, Barca fans. You can agree with me as well.
sort of curler top corner is something he's made a habit of. And
Curler top corner, he's made a habit of. Okay, this guy's waffling, bro. This guy's waffling. He scored like 3 this season, and it's been 7 months of the season. Like, come on, bro. Or 6 months of the season. I can't agree with this one, bro. Most of his shooting comes from one-on-ones with the keeper. That's what he's, I think, best at. Or in the box. Outside the box, when it... Bro, he's not a good finisher of the ball. Come on, man. His ball striking ability is 50-50 in most games. He can have a good game, he can have a bad game, but I wouldn't put his finishing even like near his passing. Like, I think his passing, dribbling is right here, and his finishing is right here, compared to, you know, to themselves.
Catalog speaks for itself. So I just think the avenues in which he can hurt you supersedes most footballers, well, every footballer I know at the moment. That's my core argument.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong argument. I think with Yamal,
I'm curious to what player he mentions, this United fan.
Yamal, like, is, you know, the first player since Messi that we've seen who could get to his level on a long-term basis. So I feel like...
Okay, let's be honest. Let's be honest. A lot of people thought Neymar was gonna be that. Let's be honest here, okay? Let's be honest, yeah? Neymar was trying to be that as well.
6 years' time, we're going to be talking about one of the best players ever already. But I would say I do feel like his age counts against him just a little bit, given that we've only
It does,
seen
yeah.
him
He's not fully developed.
play
He's not.
for 2-3 years. And when you look
Fast.
at performances of someone like Kylian Mbappe in a dysfunctional Real Madrid team this season,
Dysfunctional? Bro. United fan, stop talking, bro.
you know, the output that he's getting out is amazing. The output...
Kylian Mbappe is not a better player this season, but he's having a better season. Do you know what I mean? Goals-wise and, you know, what he's doing for Madrid. I think he's having a better season. He wasn't... And Lamine Yamal at the start was a bit shaky and a bit injury-prone as well. You know, with the pubic injury. We remember that. Nicky Nicole. Hey!
You look at the numbers that Kane's put up over the last couple of years as
Yeah,
well.
I'm not trying to hear Kane, yeah? I'm not trying to hear anything about Kane, bro. I'm
I
not.
think I'll put Kane in that conversation because I just think Mbappe has a bit more to his game. He's a bit more, you know, the
Yeah.
qualities that you describe in Lamine Yamal. I think Mbappe has pretty much.
Okay, he's gonna mention this. Let's move on to the next debate. Where is the next debate here? God damn! What? Here, okay, first.
We can count on to Harry Kane, but I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, so he basically said the same shit for 5 minutes. First. So Harry Kane or Mbappe better than Lamine Yamal. As a footballers, like as football players, I wouldn't say they are better technically. I think Mbappe is around the same level. Kane is not. I think Kane is heavily carried by his finishing. And I think Kane is a great player. Big games. I would be a hypocrite calling him better than Lamine Yamal because Kane in big games, let's be fucking honest, he's the worst player in the fucking world, bro. Like, France penalty, I will never forget that. For me, that's the worst moment of your career. And I'm not gonna forget that, bro. Yeah. But Mbappe, he can be on the same level. For me, Dembele is on the same level technically as well.
Okay, nice.
But the season he's having, of course, injuries.
Want to come up and... Oh, here comes Declan Rice. Come on, Waleed. Welcome, mate.
Declan Rice? What the fuck?
I'm not going to say that Rice actually. My thing was, I actually thought that it was just based on form. That's why I kind of just sat back and said, all right, fair enough.
Based on form? Yeah, depends on when they were filming it, because before the Atletico game, Lamine Yamal was like on a streak of scoring, 7 games in a row. Like, I think it was 4 assists, something like that. Yeah, he was on a crazy form.
Still kind of what Michael said before in terms of the fact that his age and
If he's gonna say an Arsenal player, back this whole video up.
how long he's been doing it for. I know it doesn't really count with who I'm going to say, but I think Ousmane Dembele for me is still the best in the world.
First,
in my
yeah.
opinion, because
First. But on form, nah. Yeah, I agree with him, though.
If you talk about impact, for example, what Lamine Yamal obviously has done with Barcelona has been incredible, but you look at Dembele, who's gone in that side,
Yes.
had a very tough
I don't think people understand how good he was last year. People just say, yeah, he deserved the Ballon d'Or. But, PSG, who watches PSG actually,
And initially when he came in, but was still kind of helping from that perspective of making PSG a better team. And then what he does in that second half of the season last year, I wouldn't say near enough single-handedly because it's not like everyone done their bit, but he
No,
was
definitely not.
the star man.
Fairs.
Round of 16, final, semi-final, final.
Who do you know what? Who do you think is a better player? Lamine Yamal on ability, Lamine Yamal or Dembele? And then we can do like who is a better player, you know, for their team. Who does more, Dembele or Lamine Yamal?
Even though he didn't score, I think got 2 assists, like got man of the match. I think no, was do it, but you know what I mean. Like in all the big games, has stepped up.
Every single big game he stepped up.
The
Yes.
game just now against Marseille. I don't know if you guys saw the goal he scored, but it was like literally weaving out 3 or 4 players, smacking it top bins with his right foot. Like his technical ability.
Yeah, technical ability. Dembele is one of the best players like ever. Both footed. He's fake, man. Honestly, he could have had a much better career without injuries. Honestly.
The joke. I think what he does in the big moments, especially when Mbappe left, to kind of take that mantle.
Yeah, first.
A lot of people
Mbappe got fried by Dembele. I always say that's the biggest L of Mbappe's career, bro. Even if he says he's happy for Dembele, we know what's happening. Mbappe, come on, bro.
Horrible, terrible performance. That renaissance to now win that Ballon d'Or and to still be producing the
over Lamine Yamal.
Although with the injuries
Yeah.
he's had, I just think with PSG, they would be in a worse situation if Dembele was there in comparison to Barcelona. Because when you look at, for example,
Yes. Because if Barcelona didn't have Lamine Yamal, but had everybody else, Pedri, Rafinha, and this man, I think they can do a better job than with Lamine Yamal and without Pedri and Rafinha. Because without Pedri, they look ass. They look shite. And without Rafinha as well, oh my goodness, that game against Atletico Madrid, that was the Barcelona that I know from a few years back. No defensive, no defense, no ability to build up in midfield, nothing. He's cooking, bro.
You had Pedri, he was running a lot of your games last season. For me,
Yes.
was the best midfielder in the world. You look at Rafinha, I think he got 38 goals, 16 assists, something like that.
Yeah.
Club and country.
Rafinha was more important than Lamine Yamal.
Incredible. I think your whole team is also the reason why you are one of the best teams in the world. But I think with Dembele, if you take him out of that piece at PSG, I just don't think they win it.
I agree with most of what you said about Dembele. I think, first, as a Barcelona fan, most Barcelona fans...
What does he disagree with?
He's a
That's
great
what I
player.
care about.
I watched him at the club and I didn't want him to leave. And what he's become now, I couldn't have seen coming. You know, he's so mature. He's taken up a central role. We saw that under Koeman a few years ago, him playing centrally is a bit of a false nine.
Yeah.
And it was
True.
interesting, but I never thought he had the understanding to play that role. But he's come in, done a great job. The point that I would disagree on is that PSG would be a better side. I mean, Barcelona are a better side without Lamine Yamal, and PSG wouldn't be as good without Dembele. I think PSG...
No, I genuinely think PSG without Dembele looks ass. And even with him now, they are not having the best season. They are much worse than last season, but they can pick it up, of course. But they literally did it last season. They were ass for 6 months, and then they won the Champions League and basically everything they could. But without Lamine Yamal, you were still moving nice. But with Lamine Yamal in big games, if Pedri's missing and Rafinha's missing, I mean, who's doing the biggest work in midfield? Pedri. Who's scoring the biggest goals? Rafinha. It's just facts.
If you look at their side, they have Barcola, they have Doué. Their front
Barcola is ass. Thank you.
and generally has players
Doué, by the way, overrated. I'm not gonna lie. Even I maybe overrated him last season.
off a greater level. Whereas if you look at Barcelona, right now, Lewandowski is 38 years old, 37, 38. Ferran Torres, I like Ferran Torres. He's a good rotational player, but
He's not a good anything. Ferran Torres is Nemo, bruv. Find Nemo.
not at that level. So it's basically just Lamine Yamal and Rafinha, and then the likes of Fermin Lopez and Dani Olmo. I think Lamine Yamal brings that front line together and has been doing. People bring up...
No, he doesn't. It's Rafinha. Let's be honest, it's Rafinha. Without Rafinha, you don't press. And that's basically everything Hansi Flick wants from his attack and midfield. And if you don't press, the defense is fucked. I think that's a fair point to make.
Does work in his favor. People, Lamine Yamal has time. He's only 18. He's only 18 and he's still performing as one of the best in the world. I think that should...
Yeah, but he has time. I think we should move on from this debate. I kind of agree with him that on ability, he is the best player, footballer. On, potential, definitely. But if I would pick somebody better than him right now, I think Mbappe can be better than him. I don't think he was better than him. But I genuinely think Dembele, bro, I don't know, man. Dembele just moves me. Maybe I'm being biased, but fair play. Fair play to him. Good take. I'm not gonna lie, good take.
That is the worst take I have ever heard.
Mate, what are you on about? You don't get football.
Sorry, lads. I was just finished something. This video is sponsored by Raycon.
Fairs, brother hit me with the ad. I was like, what the hell? Bro, Raycon fair play too, bro. Look it up. I'm not sponsored though. Chill out, man. I was like, what the hell is happening, bro? This is a different video? Okay, give us the vid, bro. Okay.
Let's get back to the debate.
An all-time FC Barcelona 11 beats an all-time Premier League 11.
Oh, 100%. An all-time Barcelona 11 beats a all-time Premier League 11. Yo, if you just take 2012, 2011 Barca, I mean, yeah, they will get screwed with center backs though. Who like fucking PK, bro?
Yeah, let's
Puyol.
go. All-time Barcelona 11. Oh god, we're feeling a little bit scared today. All-time Barcelona
Okay.
11 beats an all-time.
I know this guy as well.
Welcome, Tobes.
Fair play.
Let's
He got some big content, like big, you know, recognizable. Let me say that.
That's me. Before I go, I want to
Shout out to
preface
Zach,
this
man.
by saying my Barcelona 11 will be based on players that I have watched. I could go back to Cruyff and
Okay, well, that's a bit cheeks, right? That like puts you at a disadvantage. You can't use R9 if you haven't watched R9. I don't know. Let's see. What's his Barcelona best 11? That's what I have to know.
Maradona and Kabbalah, but I feel like it just would take away from
I
what
think
I
it
can
probably helps out
argue
the
anyway.
Premier League 11 as well. Considering it's only been a thing for like
Yeah.
30 years.
So we'll just
Football
base
wasn't
it.
real in the 90s. That's right.
Without further ado,
Okay,
why
first.
don't you say you're 11?
Wait, let me make this a
Yeah,
little bit
So in
smaller.
goal, I also think that the back line is really only where Premier League players would get in. So I think in goal,
Back line, yeah. Back line
Stadium.
definitely. Fullbacks. Yeah. Your left back. I'm not even gonna mention center backs. I don't think they get in over Prem, but the right back is definitely Dani Alves.
Doesn't really matter. I would say Ter Stegen, not a good option in general. He had a
Yeah, keeper definitely Peter Cech, Michael, brother, anybody, bro, anybody.
very good
Over
year,
Barcelona
but,
keepers.
In general, I think like the Schmeichel and Mensa would take over. Right back, Dani Alves. I think
1,000,000%.
Right back for time.
Yes.
Center back, I'd go PK and Puyol.
PK and Puyol. Nah. John Terry, Rio, Campbell. Even Van Dijk is better than Puyol and PK. Yeah, I mean, bro, come on, man.
Would have come in there, but I'd still go PK and Puyol.
PK
Left
and
back,
Puyol over
I-
Prem all time. Yeah, put this in the back, man. Center backs are awful, bro.
Between Abidal and Alba, I'd go Alba.
Wait, what is he making? Is he making like his 11 or is he making the combined? On my life, Jordi Alba and Abidal are not better than Ashley Cole.
Then midfield, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Front line, Messi. I would go Suarez. R9 had one great season, but
R9 had a better season, I think, in my opinion. But as a player, he's much better than Suarez. But first, Suarez spent more years at Barca.
for the purposes of
I get
this,
it.
I would just go Suarez because
Who's he gonna put left wing? Dino?
And then left wing, I was debating Neymar or Ronaldinho. Now this could be a debate on its own, but I think for what he
Neymar's better.
did, especially the Ballon d'Or he won and how he lifted the club.
First.
From a point
Yeah, he's
it
gonna
was
pick
at,
Dino,
I'd
of
still go
course.
Ronaldinho. So that's my 11.
Okay.
What are your players then for your Premier League one? Because I think there's definitely.
I don't think you need it for this argument because your argument obviously was they wouldn't beat them.
Yeah.
What is the best Barcelona side of all time? Would you say?
2011. 29, 2012, something like that. Somewhere around those years.
Like year wise?
Probably.
Because the best team I've ever seen was that 2011 Barca team.
Yes.
Probably the one in my lifetime. Yeah, I'd say 2011. Yeah.
Arsenal beat them, and the following year Chelsea beat them.
Fast, but they also won 2 Champions Leagues. So, if we are talking about a one-off game, who is the best performing team of all time? How am I glazing Barca, by the way? What the fuck is this, man? But I had to give props where props is due, bro.
The Premier League teams.
They beat-
both those teams. That Arsenal side was Squalacci and those guys. That Chelsea side, we ended up winning it with Bertrand playing. Like that wasn't our best team ever. That wasn't Arsenal's best team ever.
I think, yeah, Luca, yeah, this guy in the black. Facts, yellow card, bro. Like that's a one-off game in the Champions League.
they were capable of beating that Barcelona side.
But anyone's capable of beating anyone, right? Also,
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can beat anyone. But an all-time Barcelona 11 beats an all-time Premier League 11. Yes, it can happen. They can literally beat an all-time Premier League 11. 100% they can.
You said they couldn't beat them.
No, they would beat them, like in a game.
Oh, they would. I don't know, bro. In a one-off game, Premier League has way more physicality. Bro, prime Messi cooks Premier League, bro. Whatever, man.
Like hypotheticals, I think.
Depends what the Premier League 11 is.
Things in, like,
But it's
they
also
wouldn't
my
if it
argument
proved
that an
that-
all-time Barcelona 11 would beat an all-time Premier League 11. So it's not
But let me know. I think this take is like it's a bit useless because we are talking about a one-off game. What if Messi has the best game of his life, or I don't know, they pick fucking Thierry Henry and he scores a hat trick in this game, and Barcelona gets a red card, you know, in this game, the all-time battle, bruv. Like, what is this take? I honestly think I'm gonna skip this because I think he's making, like, what is this take? What is this take even about? An all-time Barcelona beats an all-time Premier League XC. Sure they can, but would they? I don't know. I don't think this is a good take because you don't really debate this take because what is actually the 11? Which team is better on paper? Which team will have a better game? Like, see, this is what I mean. He should have said an all-time Barcelona 11 is better on paper than an all-time Premier League 11. I want to go next to the point, but like, who else is debating this here? I don't really care about this point. Yo, you can cook me in the comments, but I think this take is fucking ass. I think they can beat the Premier League all-time 11. Let's move on to the next point, bro. My bad. Oh, flick point.
Guys,
Oh
you
my
could be
goodness
in this
gracious.
subscribe button much.
Okay, since take
Subscribe, of course.
100K,
My bad.
I'm getting Thierry Henry on the channel. So subscribe.
Thierry Henry on the
okay,
channel.
since
First.
taking charge of Barcelona, Hansi Flick has done the best managerial job in football.
No. Luis Enrique has done it.
Okay, since taking charge of Barcelona,
Sorry.
Hansi Flick has done the best job in managerial football. Go ahead. Quickly, when did Hansi Flick take over?
24, 25, so...
Welcome, my friend.
Hey, nice to meet you again.
And again. Right, it's going to be really difficult with this one because I can't believe I'm arguing Keith Andrews.
Keith Andrews. Okay, put the yellow up, bro. Like,
I can't
put the
believe
yellow
I'm
up, right,
arguing
bro.
Keith Andrews.
Fair enough, mate.
So I'm going to say it's all relative. And success for Barcelona is incredible.
He's gonna argue Keith Andrews. What am I watching, bro?
Success for Brentford. Success for
Brentford! The fucking set piece coach, bro.
Barcelona
Oh
would look
my
like
god. Yo, skip this one, bro. I don't care about Keith Andrews. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Keith Andrews.
everybody in this.
Okay, Kulusevski, bro. They got Kulusevski on the video. Fast. Yeah, put this guy out. Keith Andrews. Bro, shush, man.
Thomas Prem.
Kulusevski, come on, bro. Let's get it.
Go ahead.
Luis Enrique is the man
Yeah.
put forward for a couple of different reasons.
He's much better than Flick, in my opinion. He's better tactically. He's actually versatile, unlike Flick. Highline for life. W Highline, bro. Oh my goodness, Flick is not better than Luis Enrique. I'm just sorry, bro.
Obviously the biggest competition for both Barca and PSG. Inter Milan obviously beat you. Should never have beat you, in my opinion, given the quality.
Yes,
of both
because
squads.
Flick is stupid and their players were too young and naive and they were playing attacking football while they were up in the fucking 90th minute against Inter. Whose fault is that? Is it the players? Is it Flick? Is it playing, that style of football that gets into your head too much? You want to, press high up the pitch, I don't know, man. And you are now seeing in the league, Real Madrid is once again first, just because they are playing suicide football. Flick is playing suicide football. He is doing what Ange Postecoglou was doing for Tottenham 2 seasons ago. Just play attacking football, press. We don't care about the results. I only care about my style of football. That's gonna bite him, bro. And it already is backfiring.
Massillon final in the final.
Yeah.
Won every trophy that season. I don't see how you could have one. Over the
You
other.
I
can't.
also think it's holistic with Luis Enrique. That was his second season in the club. So he took over, basically, turned
Yes.
his club around. Spain.
And he lost Mbappe. He lost Mbappe after cooking him for a whole season and then won every single trophy because he got some little players, that nobody even knew about. They were talented, sure, but the team was basically done the season. And without Mbappe, that team stayed basically the same. Doué came in, of course, and they bought in Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, but that is a decision of Luis Enrique as well.
Hundreds of millions Flick didn't have.
Yeah.
He came in, he had to get rid of Mbappe. The first season, he had Mbappe
Was
and
that not a
Dembele.
big? Was that not a big thing? Losing your.
That's a huge thing.
That whole summer was a mess.
But
for
they
them.
became he had the ability to go out and mold his own squad, which Flick didn't have. Flick was given what he had and had to work.
Yeah, Flick was given, according to you, maybe not you, but to Barca fans, the best midfielder in the world. Kubarsi, one of the best talented center backs in the world. Koundé, one of the best right backs in the world. Balde, one of the best left backs in the world. He was, signing Olmo after that Euros, which he was given this tag that he was one of the best midfielders in the world. Lamine Yamal, the best talent, Rafinha on a generational season, I get that. Lewandowski, the seasoned veteran. Like, he wasn't given a bad team. Let's be honest here, guys. Like, this is where I have a problem with Barcelona fans. When it comes to, rating their players, they overrate them. But when it comes to debating something for somebody doing with their team, they underrate them so much. Once again, he's saying now that his team is basically shit. But he wouldn't be saying that if we were talking about rating players against each other, He wouldn't be saying this about Pedri and signing Olmo when they were signing Olmo. That's my problem with it. And he got rid of Inigo Martinez, bro.
With it. Luis Enrique
Maybe that was the club,
handpicked
I don't know.
players he wanted and mold a squad around what he would probably prefer the squad without Mbappe, if I'm being honest. Like, the problems, he benched Mbappe a couple of times that first season because it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So I think
But
if Flick had that,
He still had Pedri, the best midfielder in the world.
Yes, my point exactly.
The best player in the world.
Exactly my
Like I
point.
said.
but
So I think there was.
Yeah, that's a fair
The difference
point.
in squads is huge. You had Pacho in his first season at PSG, Marquinhos, who hugely criticised before Luis Enrique came in. Yeah.
Hugely. Oh my goodness, he was getting killed, bro. Marquinhos was getting overrated shouts for like 2 years.
A reject from Wolves, so I think it's like he was at the time. I mean, obviously he came in.
Vitinha was, yeah. Vitinha was genuinely ass at Wolves. Yeah, because I don't think it was on him, but I don't really even remember him in the Premier League, bro, if I'm being completely honest.
So I don't think the difference in squads is huge, despite the fact that Enrique could build his own squad. So
But the difference in I think with Flick, if you look at the players, Rafinha was half the player he is now before Flick came in. Eric Garcia was half the player he is. Pedri.
Eric Garcia, bro.
Before Pedri hadn't played in almost a year with recurring injuries, so he
we all
came
knew
in.
the player he was. Was that more
Pedri was already world class.
a failing of Xavi rather than was half of that a failing of Xavi rather than a success of Hansi?
Yeah, I think he's cooking right here. Xavi was just ass. He was just a bad manager. He didn't understand the players. He couldn't rotate them fully. He didn't understand his players on a injury level. That he overplayed some of these players, and he made decisions like, for example, when they were playing even Europa League, like getting out coached by Man United's coach, bro. I'm not even gonna mention his name, bro. Fucking Voldemort, man.
Xavi won a league
Oh my
title.
God.
Xavi did
No,
a
he
great
did well,
job with
but
them.
in his-
He won a league title, but we were awful that season. We couldn't do anything, and our best player Benzema was injured for like 4 months.
Yeah, no,
But
it's true.
I
but
think if you look at like I said, Frankie de Jong was Pedri and Casado, Inigo Martinez, Pau Kubasi, Balde, Koundé, who we converted to a right back, and then Chesney in goal.
You were arguing these were the best fullback pairing last season. Just last season, before PSG won that Champions League, nobody was talking about Hakimi and Nuno Mendes that much. No, it was always, before PSG started to pick up form, it was always Balde, Koundé. They look so impressive. They press so high up the pitch.
Pedri, Casado,
So-
Lamine Yamal,
Yeah.
right?
I think he's yellow carded, no?
Made what he is, and Lewandowski was 36. I think there is a big difference in the quality of squad.
very impressive.
PSG had Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Vitinha.
Yeah, but they weren't these players before. Everybody was criticizing these players, especially Marquinhos and the older players. Fabian Ruiz wasn't this player. Vitinha wasn't this player. Barcola wasn't this player. Doué wasn't this player. Dembele wasn't this player. I think they have a better squad overall, of course, because of the money they spent. But like, I don't think Hansi Flick has done the best manager job in football. I don't think he has. I just don't.
João Neves, who they
If he did, he would have won that Champions League last year. He would have won the game against Inter because Inter was... I think Inter played one of their best games of the season against Barcelona, but they still shouldn't have lost to Inter. Barcelona just choked. They bottled it.
Dembele, Barcola, Doué, who they signed again. That squad is incredible if you compare it and how he molded that squad.
Again, I think that's in the hindsight that we have now of what they
But
did
all
last
these,
season.
Jan Evans was 60 million signed. Doué
Sure,
was,
but he came from Benfica. Like 60 mil's not
But he's one
crazy
of-
in this market.
And Portuguese talents, let's be honest, most of them fail. Renato Sanchez, Gonzalo Ramos, Nunez, Jackson Martinez, even years before when he went to Atletico. Like there is so many people from the Portuguese league that end up being shite.
It is. Maybe we didn't have
Usman,
that
but
much.
yeah, true.
Now, and Ousmane Dembele was getting shouts that he's one of the worst signings. Like they hated him, bro. Do you remember the 2022 even World Cup? He went off in the first half, bro. He was cheeks.
Dembele was nowhere near the player that he was last
Cheeks.
season before that. Like I could,
Yeah,
argue,
no,
you could
Dembele
argue
was,
that Enrique improved that squad
Oh, he definitely did.
tenfold as well.
He did,
So I think that
yeah.
argument applies to both.
And he won
cases.
everything. So
Flick
in my
and
opinion,
Flick
Luis Enrique is better.
and
I
win the
think
Champions League.
Enrique's done an incredible job,
Yeah.
and that argument applies to both. I'm not gonna. Enrique's one of my favorite. Luis Enrique is one of my favorite managers in the world. I don't like being called
Yeah, yeah.
Enrique.
Yeah, because he managed your team as well. Come on, bro. Of course he is.
But I will say that the difference is he had the ability to mold his squad and spend loads of money. Flick had nothing, and he had to build his squad from
But
scratch.
again, I don't think it's fair to say.
Yeah, but what is success measured on? Is it not trophies? Nobody cares how much money you spent. If you don't spend money, or if you spend money, if you're in the Champions League, all my life, nobody cares. Nobody cares. If I spent 500 million in a season, being Liverpool now, and they won the Champions League, first, they spent what they had, and they could have spent it, and they won the Champions League. It's not gonna, happen, I think, this season for Liverpool. But fair play if they did, fair play. Money is money. This like generation of football is just money oriented. It's facts.
They had nothing.
Seb, that is you.
Red
my
card.
friend. Good debate. Good debate.
Luka!
Making the run.
Big up the boy Luka. Juventus content creator, of course. Serie A.
If we talk about context, which is really important, I want to bring a coach that joined in the same summer that Flick
Who's he gonna talk about?
joined Barcelona, and that's Conte to Napoli. Because
Oh shit. Because Napoli, remember, they had the seasons with Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, and winning the Serie A, of course, and then they kind of fell off. Didn't they finish like 9th or 7th in the league after 2 years? And he came in, brought in Lukaku, Scott McTominay, like these players that nobody really cared about. They were getting actually memed. They were memes before they came to Napoli. And they won Scudetto, of course. If it's Scudetto, my bad. I always fuck up this trophy. And Scott McTominay was the Serie A MVP, which is crazy to me.
in his first season, he won the league with Napoli when they were 10th this season before. He turned players
10th! God damn, I was almost right.
One of the best midfielders in the world.
10th is crazy.
One of the best footballers in the world. And Gisa, he raised his level. He got the best out of a lot of players. Lukaku seemed dead and buried, and he became one of the first players to get double-double in all competitions that season.
Double-double is crazy. From Lukaku, bruv. Oh my God, bro.
He
got them playing out of the skin.
With a Napoli team with no expectation, and he won the league, and he also won the Super Cup this season.
Yeah.
I think Flick has won one more trophy compared to Conte, but we're comparing Barcelona to Napoli here. So.
Well, I think
Yeah, and we are comparing it to one of the most cheeks Real Madrid sides we have ever seen. Let's be honest, bro. Last season, Real Madrid, we looked like we were a special, bro.
I think Conte did an incredible job as well. But I think there is a difference in their European campaign, one.
But I would also argue, we already know Conte's resume in Europe isn't incredible.
Yeah,
Flick also failed, I would argue, because losing to that Inter team.
Yeah, Flick. I think Flick's best achievement that season was genuinely the league phase, because they were cooking in that league phase, and they of course got through the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. It was pretty okay for them. I think Dortmund gave them a really good game away from home. At their home ground. But then that Inter side, genuinely, if that is Real Madrid and we lose to an Acerbi equalizer and then Fratesi scores a goal like that's the biggest fail. I would be devastated. And just because they were playing too high up the pitch. Lamine Yamal losing the ball, or I don't know, maybe the team was just too young. Maybe it's not Flick's fault at all. Maybe I'm being too harsh. But I would just tell my team, brother, remember us versus Man City a few years back. We were playing everybody back. everybody was defending. Nobody was on the ball. No, when we had the ball, blah, 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 give it to Courtois, kick it out, bruv. If somebody can hold it in the corner. Hold it. Get a foul, not attack.
In the way
That's what, I don't know, man.
That's bad man management, firstly.
Sure.
And also the expectation between Barcelona and Napoli in Europe is
Not
very
that
different.
year. I don't.
No, well, they weren't even in Europe.
Would you have had Barcelona reaching the semi-finals before the?
No,
season?
probably not.
But, let's be honest, you reached quarterfinals last year, no? Didn't you reach quarterfinals last year? And everybody thought that Flick was going to improve Barcelona and that, Lamine Yamal was going to be better, Pedri was going to be better. So I think quarterfinal is fair to say, okay, you overachieved by one. I don't think that's that much to say that Barcelona could make the semi-final. I don't think that's
true, but Napoli won.
Especially with your, how well you did in the league phase, and then you got a favorable draw, in my opinion. I think that's fair to say.
In Europe last season.
Yeah, okay.
So
but
we
then
can't really
also
compare.
the competition, though. Like, I know Inter were very formidable at the time, but Real Madrid had won 2 Champions Leagues in 3 years, having signed Mbappe.
But we were ass. We were cheeks. We were the worst. We were playing the worst football, and we had many injuries. We had like the most injuries we've ever had. We had like 47 different injuries, bro. And some of them were reoccurring.
With Napoli, was it set in stone that Inter were going to win the title? I wouldn't say so. It was they were favourites, but were they?
But wouldn't you say that Serie A has more competition with bigger teams? I don't know. We have basically no competition in La Liga because Atletico Madrid last few years after 2021 they were ass. Like, I just have to be honest.
As overwhelmingly dominant in terms of quality as Madrid were or Barcelona at the time.
Inter weren't as good as Madrid, but at the same time, Napoli were in a much worse position than Barcelona.
Yeah.
They finished 10th.
Much worse.
They were the worst title retainers in the history of Italian football at that point.
Yeah.
So the jump from where Conte took them.
I think Luca is making a good point, but I wouldn't say Conte necessarily done a better job. I still think Luis Enrique is the better shout. But yeah, let's skip to the last take.
Boys, well done. Guys, often I get asked.
Then I didn't want to.
Oh shit, my
Oh
bad.
my God, does every DM
Yo, this guy has so many ads, man. Come on, bro.
No club in football has had a bigger impact on the sport than Barcelona.
No.
What is that measured on? What is that like measured on? Like buying players and making them ass, Coutinho, Griezmann, and flipping Dembele. What is that measured on? I genuinely think he's waffling. I think United back in the day had a bigger impact. I think Real Madrid had a bigger impact. Maybe playing wise, fast, tiki-taka, but like, let's be honest, people think that Barcelona invented tiki-taka, bro.
Club in football has had a bigger impact in this sport.
I think Real Madrid has a bigger impact overall on more people.
This one's going to go.
What's impact measured on?
No,
well done.
We meet again, my friend.
We meet again.
At first, I was like, yeah, I agree with you. But then I think one of your biggest arguments will probably be Cruyff, right? And I think,
You think Ajax, right,
yeah, I
yeah.
think you can make the case for Ajax with the amount of talent that's come out from there, the amount of
Yeah,
dominance
even
they've
like
had.
I would have never said that Barca has the bigger impact in football. If he said no club in football has had a bigger impact on like tactics, on tactical style of play, and actually playing for football, fairs. But no club in football. That's everything about football. That's money. That's flipping, more people watching. That's more fans becoming, football fans. That's flipping, I don't know, more kids getting into football. I think there's way more clubs, better at than Barcelona at that. I think they are like top 3.
Not in the 21st century, but specifically in the 70s and the 80s. Yeah. And Cruyff is probably the most influential person in football, I would say, whether that be...
I don't know, man. I can't really talk about fucking Cruyff, bro. Like, I know what impact he had, but like, I don't know. I still think Messi and Ronaldo have had bigger impacts on football. What are we talking about? Football? Just the game of football, playing football, or everything about football? They have to specify more.
He as a footballer, as a manager. And I think
footballer as a manager, fair play.
Style of play, his impact. Of course, he played for Barcelona as well, but he came from total football in Ajax with the Dutch style of play. Yeah. So I would say Ajax because they almost birthed Cruyff, which then he went on to have that impact at Barca, then Pep followed, etc., etc.
Well, honestly, this is when I was thinking about this. I was like Ajax, Barcelona, because So Ajax
and Barcelona are only 2 clubs because Cruyff.
The whole total football thing started with Rinus Michels in the 70s.
Yeah.
And Cruyff was the spearhead of that system. Then Cruyff came. Now, here's my argument. Barcelona before Cruyff was a big club, but not nearly what it is today.
That's fair.
Comes in, I think it was 89. La Masia translates to the farmhouse. It was a farmhouse near the club's offices that they eventually turned into the house players from outside Catalonia. But Cruyff came in and he realized that to make any of this work, you first have to integrate a specific system into the club's grassroots from top.
Okay, so he's only talking about football. That maybe I would agree with Barcelona. I don't know, man.
Top down, right? So he made La Masia a philosophy more than it was just a place to live. And that was quite unique at the time.
Okay, Fars. He's talking about football, you know? We're gonna leave it at that, because I want to know your opinion on this take. I think we have been going for long enough. I really want to know your opinion. Is Barcelona the club with the biggest impact on football? I think, you know, academy-wise, playing-wise, tactics, playstyle. We're not gonna include fans, you know, and money and what they bring, you know, from TV money and sponsorships and this and that. I think Real Madrid is much more impactful in that sense when it comes to popularity. But yeah, maybe it is Barcelona. Let me know down below. Let me know down below as well. What did you think about every single take that this Barcelona fan said? I think he had some great takes. I didn't particularly agree with some of them. But you can make the case that Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world. You can make the case that Barcelona's best 11 can beat, Premier League all-time 11. Even though it's a bad argument in my opinion. Hansi Flick, best manager, best impact since he joined. I don't think so. I think Luis Enrique had more. And then no club in football has had a better impact in Barcelona than Barcelona. You decide in the comments. Let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.